Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. That's my email. It's in the description below. Email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing details of this watch. Today, we're discussing a limited edition of 175 pieces launched for the 2022 model year. This is the Ulysse Nardin Diver X skeleton. It's a genuinely different type of dive watch, which is always refreshing given what a crowded segment this is. So the watch is comprised of titanium, sapphire, rubber, and carbon fiber, 44 millimeters in diameter. It's 15.8 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 50.3 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Keep in mind, though, the strap itself is a little bit wider than the lugs, so aesthetically, if you want a perfect match, you're going to have to go with the UN strap. The strap is a combination of rubber and hinged finished titanium. So this is designed to mitigate against fit issues that sometimes occur when you have these rigidly connected flush fit straps. So you have that little bit of accommodation, and you can see that well on my wrist. I'll put the watch on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference, and you can see it actually fits quite well, quite easily, handsome, and I'll also say this, secure. The lugs are broad, but they're not over the edge of my wrist, and you can best see that from this angle. From over the top, you can see I've got a little bit of clearance on each side. It is a thick watch, there's no getting around that, but you don't wear something this visible and this stark to disappear it underneath a dress cuff. If you want a cuffable watch, get a proper dress watch. This is a diver. I would recommend it for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. We have here a media blasted and satinated blackened titanium pin buckle, and then a case with fluted lug profiles. You can see that most of the case has been media blasted for a clean matte finish. We have little gloss finished recesses amid the satin finished knurling of the bezel. So there's at least 3 different finishes on this watch. You can see we have screw fixed individual numbering, this little number plate on the side, a nod to the Ulysse Nardin marine chronometers, the deck clocks that made UN famous in the 19th and early 20th century. So this is a nod to the old marine chronometers, this number plate on the side. We have a crown with the UN anchor logo. It is a screw-down crown. It has 2 polymer yellow crown guards. The watch is 200 meters water resistant. Let's hear that dive bezel. It's really impressive. One of the loudest 120 click bezels I've encountered. The more precise 120 click bezels tend to be fairly fine and even sometimes a little bit too silky and over-refined, but this one lacks no precision. It's 120 click, but it has the loud, chunky action that you generally associate with the 60 click bezels, so it's a real pleasure. It's the best of both worlds. You can see that there's a slight inward canting or dished profile to the bezel insert, and then the bezel insert is made of carbon fiber. Let's turn the light out, get a sense of how well loomed this watch is. A 200-meter diver. You can see that it has a fully luminescent timing bezel outboard, which you can easily and quickly line up with the minute hand for an impromptu 0 to 60 minute counter. You can also see that the seconds hand is loomed. Every dive watch should have this. For some reason, they don't all, but it lets you know your diver is running in the dark or in the depths. I think it's safety equipment, and I think UN got this right. Taking a quick look, the watch is very unconventional. There's almost too much to see when the lights are on. We have this large cross section to remind you that it is the Diver X series. There's a track outboard with cantilevered hour indices that stick out and hang over the hollow center of the watch. You can see that the large X has 2 different types of finishing. It has both satin and polish for contrast. Then we have a keyless works that's all polished and satinated. Keyless works is what allows you to set and wind the watch. You can see when I unscrew the crown, when I pull it out, you can see the clutch moving, sliding the crown wheel into contact with the intermediate wheels that operate the motion works at center. There's your minute wheel. Underneath, you can see the hour wheel just below the hands. That's how that works. The minute wheel pinion drives the hour wheel, so you can set it like that. Then you can see just below my finger, there is a winding pinion in place that allows me to wind the watch. And then we have the UN logo floating up at the top. You'll also note the use of clear sapphires for the pivot stones rather than synthetic rubies. Chemically, they're just about the same thing, they're just not red. And you can see that that keyless works is quite nicely finished. Turn it all over and there's more handsome finishing. You can see we have a large UN rotor, all in black satin metal. And then under that we have a skeletonized X cross-section acting as the base plate of the movement, and it has all been media blasted, which is an unusual kind of finishing for a watch. You can see that the screw heads are all either blued, as in the case of the case clamp screws, or black polished in the case of all the other screws. You can't see it too easily here, but note the balance is entirely made of silicon with white gold masses outboard. The balance, the unlubricated escapement, and the hairspring are all made of silicon, reducing the need for lubricants, improving durability and fatigue cycles, and making the watch effectively immune to the effects of magnetism. We have ceramic rotor bearings for high-efficiency winding, and we have an exceptional power reserve of 96 hours, this beating away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. Go to the dial side again, you can see better here the full silicon escapement, the silicon wheel, and the silicon hairspring. And Ulysse Nardin, through its Sigatech subsidiary, is probably the only smaller watch brand in all of Switzerland that owns its own silicon technology and makes that material in-house. So very, very impressive. This watch comes with the hybrid titanium rubber strap you see right here. It also comes with a yellow diving strap and a textile diving strap if you want to really extend over a diving suit. It also uses, I'll show you right here, a very efficient and durable magic lever pawl-based winding system, and the balance is free sprung for durability against shock as well as enduring precision adjustment. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.